Hi, welcome to Day to Day with Ray, with me, Ray Ray. I'm sorry talking a little quiet, but everybody's asleep and the house is like super quiet. And I'm going to start making my cakes for my koi fish pond. So I want to show you how I make a box cake. It tastes like it's from the store, like, like bakery cake. Where is my, oh, hold on, wait a minute. 1 second. Okay. Now, I had to grab something. Now, I'm going to be making a chocolate fudge. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make 2 layers of chocolate fudge. And then I'm going to do a vanilla layer on top so I can cut the hole out of for my pond. And tomorrow, I'm going to show you how I make my piping gel, my homemade piping gel. But so that way you can see what goes in the pond for Fondant Friday. But for right now, this is what I got going on. So I'm making this cake, and I already have my pan lined with parchment and sprayed. And then I have the oven on 325. I know they say 350, but I like a nice slow bake. I feel like the longer it takes for the cake to bake, it's more even and whatever. So I will go with that. That's what I've been doing. So open up my cake mix. This is what I'm going to do. It's a little secret. I am actually going to sift my cake mix. And I know you can't really see. Well, maybe if I go down like this. I'm going to sift it. Uh-oh. Get in there, Nelly. Get in there. Let's start tapping this down a little bit. I know this is like a strainer, but you know what? I get these from the dollar store, and they work just as good. Now, you're probably wondering, like, I've never heard anybody, I need 2 hands, sorry. I've never heard of anybody sifting a cake mix. Wow. When you sift it, you get a tighter crumb, and it's more fine, and it makes mixing the cake a little bit, I got too much in here, a little bit easier, and the cake just seems a little bit, there's no more like, there's like no lumps, none of that. I put too much cake mix in here, but I was kind of one-handed, so you know what, let's get my hand in here. I did just wash my hands, so please don't fret. Like, she putting her hands all up in the cake mix and she ain't even wash her hands. So I'm just trying to work the cake mix through the sieve, or it's actually a strainer, but the things on here are so small. Come on. There we go. See all them lumps and stuff? That would have been in your cake batter. Like I said, I'm just whisking this by hand. So, because I don't want that mixers and stuff to be running while everybody's asleep. Okay. And then you always end up with these like hard chunks, and it's probably like, this is always in cake mix. I don't know what this is, and it doesn't always go through. I mean, you have to really grind them up. I don't know what exactly they are, but sometimes I dump them out. All right, next ingredient. So look at your cake mix. Here, let me show you guys. Look at that. It's like really fine and powdery, like a powdered sugar almost. Okay, my next ingredient, pudding. This is an off-brand. I got it at Aldi. Pudding is pudding. This is going to make the cake really nice. This is how I make my cakes. Usually if I buy so many cake mixes, I usually buy puddings. I try to. I don't always, but I do like to add pudding. And guess what? I sift this too. Just because. Get that to go through. That's like super fine. But just to keep it all right. Alright. So I got my whisk. I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. This is like so super fine. Okay. So now what I normally would do sometimes, I don't do it all the time, is instead of vegetable oil, I would do melted butter. Like I said, not all the time, but sometimes. I pretty much know how much to pour in. I've done this enough, so pour that in. And because I'm out of milk, instead of water, I would put milk. But it's okay because you're still gonna get a good, rich flavor. So let me get my milk, my water. I don't even have to look at the box. I've done this so many times. Now, if you want, like if you do a vanilla cake and you do want some flavored cakes, like I make this Mountain Dew cake for my girlfriend's daughter, usually for her birthday, almost every year. And instead of water, I put Mountain Dew, and I use a lemon, like lime extract, and just to kind of give it that, you know, get that taste. So I'm gonna start mixing this up a little bit. So we got our oil and our water. And I always scrape, I like whisk the sides first. Like all up on the side of the bowl, because you want all this cake mix. You're probably thinking, we know how to make a box cake. It's not hard. But this is going to be a good box cake. So I want to show you something. Now I just whisked this by hand. This is what sifting a box cake does. Look at this. Let's see if you can see this. Do you see how smooth this is? There's no lumps. There's no lumps in that, and it's already pretty much combined already, and I haven't even added the eggs yet. That's what sifting a box cake does. Okay, now I'm gonna add my eggs. So normally the box would say 3. We ain't listening to the box. You can add, I always add 4 or more. Right, today I'm gonna do 4. So there's 1. And I don't mix after every one. I just put them all in there. I actually, what I like to prefer to do when I make a cake, and if I know I'm making a cake, is I like to get the extra large eggs, so you get even more egg in there. But where does, okay, here it is. But yeah, and I always put the whole egg, even if it's a white cake. You know, you're supposed to put egg whites. No, I put the whole egg in, and AmeriColor makes white food coloring. So if you want to brighten it up, you can brighten it up, and it works. I don't have it anymore, but I used to use it all the time. Let me wash my hands real quick. I always, come with me. I always wash my hands after cracking eggs because, you know, it gets on your fingers and stuff, and I'm trying to get all that stuff and spread it around. That's just, even at breakfast. Anytime I cook with eggs, I crack them, get on my hands, I wash them. Okay, so let me get these eggs in here. Come on, eggies. I'm probably like jiggling. Remember, I don't know if this is again probably showing my age, but I used to watch on MPT on the weekends. There was a Cajun cooking guy, and every time he stirred, his whole body would shake, kind of like mine. He was a heavy set guy. It was like Cajun cooking or something. I used to love watching him. I did. He'd be like, woo-wee. And I think he always put hot sauce and stuff and everything. Phew. My arm is hurting. I don't know what's been going on with me. My legs have been hurting really bad. Like, I've been getting like Charlie horses and stuff all the time. And every night, my feet, I don't know. All right. Now I got my eggs all mixed in. Now what I'm going to do is, there it is. Even if you were doing Instant KitchenAid, I do this. I scrape the sides of the bowl down into the batter. Scrape the bottom, because you just don't know sometimes. And then I'm just going to give it one more quick stir. Look at that. All by hand. Look at this. Look at this cake mix. You see that cake batter? Let me put in the light. Look at this. And I'm kind of holding it. Look at that. There are no lumps. It's silky. It's soft. Look at that. And I just whisked it by hand. You see how smooth that is? That's a damn good cake recipe right there. All right. Oops. So now, I got my pan. I'll take this. My whisk. This is my favorite whisk. I actually got this at Ollie's. It's a KitchenAid whisk. This is like one of the best whisks I have ever had. Okay. Let me pour this in here. Pour it on in. Scrape the sides. There we go. Come on, baby. We want all this chocolatey goodness. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my spatula and just make sure it's all up in the corners. You know, even it out a little bit. Okay. Spread it out. And fling it, fling it, fling it. Okay. All right. Now this is going to be a little loud. But another thing I always do is before I put it in the oven, I drop it on the counter. Because if there is air bubbles in it, they're going to come up to the top and they're going to pop. And you'll see them. There we go. That was the one that I needed. Oh, there's one right there. Okay, so let me put this in the oven. I'll bring you with me. I always put them in the middle rack. Okay. And I'm gonna set the timer for about 35 minutes. I know it's gonna need more time than that, but I'm gonna check it and see where the baking process is and all that good fun stuff. So that is my cake hack for making a delicious bakery style cake for like next to nothing. And you know, I did buy a box of cake flour because I do want to make a cake from scratch. But if you don't have time, and I'm not saying you have to sift your cake mix all the time. You don't. If you're in a hurry and you're in a pinch, some people, they don't even notice a difference. And to be honest, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But, well, at first, before I became a little bit, you know, whatever. But I do notice a difference. It does have a very tighter crumb, and it does take less time by hand to whisk your cake mix. And you saw how silky and smooth that cake was. Now when that cake comes out, I'm not gonna make another one tonight. The next one I'll probably start in the morning, and then I'll be making chocolate ganache, and I'm gonna be making my homemade buttercream. And I'm actually gonna go live, and I'm gonna do some of this tomorrow on my Ray's Cakes page. It's on Facebook. If you go on that page, it's like all my cakes and stuff like that. I went live last night. It was about this time. I know nobody was online, but I went online and I made my lily pads and stuff. Here, come here, I'll show you. Come, follow me and my quichon. So I have them right here. Let me put this right here. So I made these last night. So here are, and I put a little type, oh yeah, they're nice and hard. So here is my one like little lily, and I'm gonna make some yellow fondant, and here's some smaller ones. And then I put a little Tylos, I think that's how you say it, into this color just so they would hold their shape. So, and I have them in a little round, just to kind of, I made these also roses with my new rose cutter. So I made those too. I thought they were pretty. I didn't make any leaves or anything, but for the roses, but that can come at a later day. And then I made, this is where I keep like, I do have some modeling chocolate down here, but so in here, oh, I need to show you guys. Well, first let's show you guys, here's a lily pad. I don't know how well you guys can see it. There's a little lily pad. Now for Template Tuesday, I showed you guys how to make the koi fish. Well, after we got done, I colored them. So here, and then there's a picture on my Ray's Cake page. But here are, I don't want to really pick them up. Let's see if I can, there's the koi fish. Trying to make sure you guys can see it. It's the koi fish and the lily pads. What do you guys think? So I just followed the papers. Now I know they're flat. But they're gonna be in the pond, and I'm gonna make my piping gel, and I'm filling the whole pond that I cut out of the cake with the piping gel, so they'll actually look like they're underwater, so you really can't tell. My cobblestone mold should come tomorrow. I ordered that. I have Amazon Prime 2-day shipping, so hopefully that'll come. And that's that. So that's all I have time for today. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go live again on my Facebook page. It's Ray's Cakes. I do have a day-to-day Ray, but I might just keep the Ray's Cakes because it seems like that's all I've been doing is baking, which is fine. But anyway, so I love you guys very much and good night. And remember, be kind to everybody because you don't know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I'm sure it's a harder battle. So peace, love, and happiness. Be kind and happy baking. See you later. Good night.